Pinoy Networking 101. So let's talk about the Cisco router. So a router is a device that will route your packets outside your network facing your peers like the ISP or the internet service provider. So a router also has a CPU, which process the data and the information. It also has a random access memory or the RAM, which is temporary storage for the information, and also the ROM or read only memory stores the permanent configuration or the configuration files of the router. So aside from that, this is just a router box, and at the back of it you will see a different kind of interface. So this is the VIC card or the virtual interface connection. So from Cisco, this is what you called a VIC. So each port or called a interface, a router interface. So that's how it is called in the networking. And also, this one is a serial interface. A serial interface could only have a 2 MB of bandwidth each interface. And this one is also a serial interface, a weak one. So this one is a one interface per slot. This represents two interface per slot, and also this one, two interface per slot. So when connected, this is the what you call a serial connector, and also it will be paired by this one. So this is a serial connector, and the other is a V.35, what you called a standard connector. This will be terminated facing the modem or the modulator demodulator. Previously, we are using this kind of interface for the serial, which is the ISP configured as a frame relay. And also, in the router, you have this Ethernet port or the known as 100 Mbps Ethernet. Also, the basic of the router is this one. This is the console port. When provisioning from the factory, the router has no configuration, so you only have access to configure the router is via the console port, and also this one is an AUX or auxiliary port. So this port will have a console cable that is included in the bundle when you buy a Cisco router. So that will be connected through your serial interface on your laptop or PC, and then you can locally access this router. And by the way, this cable, unfortunately, I don't have the physical modem for the layer. And let's try to draw a router. So for example, this is the ISP or the internet service provider, and there this is your branch 1. So you will use this Cisco 1700 series, and this one another router to your HQ or headquarters. So yeah, that's how. Then in this one you will connect the ATM machine, and all your traffic will be bring to the HQ for the authentication. And before the subscriber can withdraw money, then you need to connect to the HQ in which your database or your transaction is recorded. So that's the simple way. So this one is router. If you want to add another branch, then you need another router, another branch, another router, and all will be connected to the HQ. So that's the typical application of the Cisco router. This is an enterprise grade. So this is not your typical Wi-Fi router that is found in your home, but more of a common. So this is just a starting video. So I hope you learned something about this, and you might subscribe and share your knowledge about the networking 101. Okay, so any questions and comments, you can write it down below. Thank you and see you around, guys. And hopefully you've learned this networking channel. Okay.